Hello and welcome back to Pirate Players Then and Now podcast. I'm your Hampton football enthusiast, TJ Jones, and I'm happy to have a guest on with me, Mr. Adam Lee Spencer. And I specifically asked Adam to participate in this conversation because there's aspects to what's happening with the team that I don't have the bandwidth to cover in any reasonable fashion. I pay a lot of attention to returning players and to freshmen because I think that's so important as it relates to the football legacy. Also gives you a chance to understand more about the direction of the program. But Hampton is making an effort to have some strategic additions in from the transfer portal as they present themselves. And so, because Adam is someone whom I saw riding for Hampton in on the social media spaces over the last year or so, and we've had some conversations around some of the great things that the university is doing, or the football team specifically. I thought that Adam would be a great person to help articulate some things. So for today, I simply want to know, Adam, you know, give me 5 players that have transferred in that you think could be of significant impact. And I'll ask you for each one kind of why. So take it away.
Hey, well, first and foremost, appreciate your platform. Appreciate you having me on here. Good everything to you. Shouts to James Hall, WHOV, both defects and QT3. If you know, you know. So obviously the elephant in the room, if you will, is the quarterback position in the HBCU world. The first guy on the tip of everybody's tongue is Isaiah Freeman, quarterback from Lincoln University. 6'3", 200 pounds. 2022, he's CIAA Rookie of the Year. 2023, he's the Conference Player of the Year on a team that won 4 games. Very telling. NFL size, arm to make all the throws. Without a question, he can move. It was a one-man show at Lincoln. 24 season didn't go as well as I think a lot of folks thought it would. Lincoln had some losses in some other places. So it is going to be interesting to see how he acclimates here at Hampton, where he hopefully has to do less than what he was asked to do at Lincoln. So Isaiah's come in, and is now in the process of stepping up to the challenge of, being a quarterback for Hampton University.
Great. Isaiah Freeman was recruited early on, if I'm not mistaken. And I heard recently him described by one of the guys from HBCU Nightly as someone who can take over a game. So that seems like a real possibility, someone who can, in the moment, step up into that type of role. So I know that coach has been saying he's looking for more of a game manager. Do you think that he'll be able to tailor his game to the type of thing that coach is looking for?
Well, I think that's going to be a challenge for everybody in the quarterback room.
Okay.
When you look at Isaiah, it's very interesting to see what he'll look like at this level, because part of the challenge for him and the rest of the guys in the quarterback room, managing the game to a degree.
Who else you got? That's one. Who's number 2?
An interesting prospect quarterback is Braden Davis, 6'5", 200 pounds, basically the same high school class as Isaiah. Braden's a different type of profile. Dad was a first-round pick in the 91 draft, 8th overall, Anton Davis. He himself was a four-star commit, originally committed and went to South Carolina out of the 22 class. Spencer Rattler transferred to South Carolina. So he sat behind Rattler the 22 season. And as a part of the 23 process, South Carolina brought in Lenore Sellers. Braden moved on to Syracuse and for the 26th season. And this is the year that Dino Babers got fired. So he really didn't get much of an opportunity. For me personally, I don't think they helped him a lot. It wasn't the greatest situation. But if you look at the high school tape, all the attributes are there. NFL size, He can definitely throw the football, got some movement to him. So if we're a much more balanced team, he might be the guy.
Well, you point out two quarterbacks as top five transfers in. I thought it was interesting that he was converted to a wide receiver in his last year at Syracuse. So coming to Hampton is an opportunity to return to his roots as far as position wise. So at Hampton, uh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so that's two between Freeman and Davis. We may have another 1-2 punch scenario like we had last year, especially if they have different skill sets.
Absolutely. It could be Zealous and Mays all over again if that
Mhm.
does happen. All the attributes are there for it to be that battle again. Um, Me personally, I really think Coach Boykin wants to make a decision on the guy.
That makes sense. It makes things easier, but certainly quite a battle going right now.
Exactly. Please understand, this is a quarterback battle.
Well, and it's interesting because I think I mentioned this before, right? Much of the HBCU space, because they don't know who else is in camp, pretty much thinks that it's Freeman's job and that's it, because they're just not paying any attention. Coach Boykin has been saying it all over the place that there's a battle going on, but the larger HBCU landscape or media spaces just hasn't paid it any attention. So, moving to your third person, who's your third person, Adam?
Maxwell Moss, wide receiver,
All right.
6 foot 180, transferring from JMU. Really didn't get much time over at JMU, but we with a couple of losses, whether it's graduation or transfers, I think Maxwell is going to be important. He does have size to him, and I think he'll come in and contribute to support Marshawn Ferguson, who really stepped up as he transferred in from ODU last year. I think Moss will come in and really help us out at the wide receiver position.
Well, certainly a solid pickup at wide receiver. I have looked at some of the losses. I think that Hampton's done a good job in retooling the wide receiver space. And you said Ferguson is a solid returner in that space. Good to hear we have a leader amongst the wide receiver group coming in. So, all right. And number four?
Number four, this is on the defensive side.
Hmm.
Um, we have had some losses on defense.
Hmm.
Um, and there's been coaching changes on the defensive line as far as the D line coach. I'm gonna throw this
Hmm.
name out to you, Mike Giamona,
Hmm.
Noisy-le-Grand, France. That's the East Paris suburb. Independence College, 6'3", 6'4"-ish, 298.
So he's got
Go
good
look at
size.
Yes, go look at the Independence College tape from him. And if nothing else, he's going to eat space and hold the center or guard because he played both over the both at the nose guard and the D tackle. So he's played over center and between the guard and center. He's done both. As I said earlier, if you look at the Independence College tape, you can tell he's going to be helpful and stout against the run. I don't know how long he was in America for high school football. So his growth will be if you can start to see him getting a pass rush, getting pass rush moves, being able to be in the quarterback's lap on third down. If he's able to develop, that's where you'll see the development. He'll learn the hand usage. He'll learn how to push the pocket because he really doesn't get, if you look at the tape, he really doesn't get pushed back much. Like I said, I think his growth is going to be is if we can get a pass rush up out of it.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's begins by being something of a middle of the field run stopper, and then
Exactly.
and then after that, any type of up the field push is a bonus, at least in the beginning. So that's good. I mean, the D-line has opportunity for someone to come in. So hopefully he is a good example of that. What's your fifth? What's number five?
Number 5 is going to be Marcellus Nash from Chesterfield, Virginia.
Hmm.
DN, Life Christian Academy. I believe he played with my cousin when my cousin was there. JMU transfer. He didn't get on the field much at JMU, but if you look at the high school tape, it's there. That's the pass rusher. During his high school recruitment, he was listed at 6'3", 230. I think he's 6'45" now on the roster.
Nash is showing at 251. That's what they're showing up at
251,
on
yep.
the system.
That is the pass rusher. Most of the tape I've seen on him is him standing up off the edge. So that's the pass rusher that hopefully we can develop and that I think we'll definitely need.
Well, we know that the Hampton utilizes the transfer portal to facilitate some backfilling against the inevitable transfer and NIL losses, although in this particular space it was significant. And Coach Boykin, all throughout the offseason, specifically in the new year, was saying we're going to have to backfill in the trenches. The trenches are going to be the place where we're going to need to do the greatest amount of recruiting. So, none of this is a surprise, but we do have some names, a couple of names, like you said, one on the D line, one on the DN, amongst the five whom you have highlighted to make a significant contribution basically on day one. Since we have a minute here too, I want to ask, throw in a bonus for me. Is there a bonus person that you would like to say, maybe a sleeper or someone whom you're like, oh, this one, we could have something here. Feel free to throw in a bonus if you have one.
Oh, I got a couple of bonuses now if you got time.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me one. Give me one.
Okay, the obvious one is Coach Boykin's son, Jazz.
Yes,
DB,
sir.
6 feet, 190, I believe.
Coming from Indiana, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
coming from Indiana. I think he can play on the outside. Um, Physicality shouldn't be an issue. At 6 feet tall, getting mossed, for lack of a better term, we won't have as many issues with that. And you've got the arm links also that'll help, if he's in a press situation at the line of scrimmage.
Well, yeah, I mean, one thing we know is that he's been well coached throughout his life. So,
Yes, yes.
so, I actually just from a human perspective thought it was kind of cool that he would be returning to play for his father. Certainly didn't have to do that. So that's a good group of individuals, coming in to backfill. Hey, Adam, thank you for sharing and giving some background on some of the transfer players that are coming. Obviously, there's more and lots of different scenarios. We wish them all well, and certainly, hopefully, they're all able to contribute to the overall program. We'll be back with some other conversations as we get closer to the start of the season. But until then, this has been the Pirate Players Then and Now podcast with TJ Jones and Adam Lee Spencer. Take care.